In the heart of rural India, a storm is brewing. Women draped in fierce pink march forward, ready to fight back. Dust rises, eyes narrow. The Gulabi Gang steps into the light. In a world ruled by old traditions, these women break the silence. A flash of pink cuts through the earth tones, defiance in motion, not just one but many. United in pink, they become a force, rebellion and hope woven together. This is no festival, this is the Gulabi Gang, an army of women who refuse to be silent. They walk with purpose, faces set, ready to shatter centuries of submission. These are the Pink Warriors. Their fight is rewriting the story of power in India. The year was 2006. And in the arid, impoverished region of Bundelkhand in Uttar Pradesh, life for women was often a cycle of hardship and silence. This is a land of stark beauty and honestly even starker realities, where caste hierarchies are rigid and patriarchal norms are deeply entrenched. In one of these villages, a woman named Sampat Pal Devi, herself a former child bride and a mother, was just going about her day when she heard something she could no longer ignore. It was the sound of a woman screaming, the unmistakable cry of someone being beaten. The sound was not unusual in her village, but on this day, something within Sampat Pal just snapped. She couldn't just walk by. She followed the cries to a neighbor's home and found a man mercilessly hitting his wife. Without a moment's hesitation, Sampat Pal intervened, pleading with the husband to stop. He turned his rage on her, threatening her and telling her to mind her own business. She warned him that if he did not stop, she would be back and she would not be alone. It was a promise that would ignite a revolution. True to her word, Sampat Pal returned the very next day. This time she was not alone. She had gathered 5 other women from the village, women who, like her, were weary of the constant fear and violence that governed their lives. They were armed with nothing more than their conviction and the household lattice they grabbed for support and courage. They stood outside the abusive husband's house, a small but determined group, and demanded that he stop the abuse. The man, faced with this unprecedented collective action, eventually relented. The beating stopped. The growth of the Gulabi Gang from a handful of women in 2006 to a sprawling organization of an estimated 400,000 members by the year 2025 is a testament to the deep need it fulfilled. The movement spread not through social media campaigns or slick marketing, but through the most ancient and powerful network of all word of mouth. A march of thousands of women, all clad in the same shocking pink, is an unforgettable spectacle. It became a symbol of mass mobilization that the media, both national and international, just could not ignore. As their numbers swelled, so did the scope of their activism. The Gulabi Gang moved beyond domestic disputes to tackle systemic issues that plagued their communities. At the heart of the Gulabi Gang's methodology is the lathi, the humble bamboo stick. In the hands of these women, this simple object undergoes a powerful transformation. Traditionally, the lathi is an emblem of male power and authority in rural India. It is carried by village headmen, by police constables, and by landlords. But you know, when the women of the Gulabi Gang pick up a lathi, they're not just arming themselves, they are co-opting and subverting a potent symbol of the patriarchy that has oppressed them for generations. Beyond the physical tool of the lathi, the gang's most effective weapon is collective action. A single woman protesting is easily ignored, dismissed, or silenced. But 100 women or 1,000, all dressed in pink and chanting in unison, are a force that cannot be overlooked. They understand the power of presence, of occupying space, of making their grievances visible and audible. The rise of the Gulabi Gang has not been without controversy. While many celebrate them as feminist icons and champions of the poor, critics raise serious questions about their methods. The primary criticism leveled against them is that they are a vigilante group, taking the law into their own hands. Law enforcement officials and legal scholars argue that while their goals may be noble, their means are dangerous. The members of the Gulabi Gang, however, see their actions not as vigilantism, but as a necessary response to a failed system. From their perspective, the rule of law is a concept that has rarely worked in their favor. When they march on a police station, their demand is not to bypass the law, but to make the police enforce it. The impact of the Gulabi Gang extends far beyond their high-profile confrontations and protests. Their most profound and lasting work may be happening quietly, away from the media spotlight. The gang is more than just a fighting force. It has evolved into a powerful social network and a school for empowerment. For many members, joining the gang is the first time they have ever stepped out of their homes for a purpose other than domestic chores or farm labor. Within the gang, women learn skills that have long been denied to them. They learn how to speak in public, how to articulate their demands. They learn about their legal rights, the right to file a police report, the right to own property, the right to a divorce in cases of abuse. This education is transformative. A woman who knows her rights is no longer a helpless victim. She is an agent of her own destiny. As of 2025, the Gulabi Gang is no longer just a local phenomenon in Bundelkhand. It is a national symbol of women's resistance and a cultural touchstone. The image of the woman in the pink sari with a lathi has permeated Indian popular culture. It has been the subject of award-winning documentaries, feature films, and countless books and articles. This media portrayal has cemented the gang's legacy, inspiring a new generation of young women and activists across the country. The gang has fundamentally altered the power dynamics in thousands of villages. Men are now more hesitant to resort to domestic violence, knowing that a phalanx of pink-clad women could appear at their doorstep. This is perhaps their most important legacy, the democratization of activism. They have shown that anyone, regardless of their background, can be a leader and a change maker. Looking forward, the Gulabi Gang continues to evolve. It is a living, breathing revolution that continues to grow, to face new challenges, and to prove that the collective power of women, once awakened, can indeed change the course of history. The story of the Gulabi Gang is a powerful chapter in the ongoing narrative of India's social transformation, but the final pages have yet to be written. The question that hangs in the air, as vibrant and charged as the color of their saris, is this: will the pink tide change India forever? On one hand, the evidence of lasting change is undeniable. Hundreds of thousands of women have been empowered. Countless acts of violence have been prevented. However, the challenges that remain are monumental. The Gulabi Gang operates in a country of over 1.4 billion people, and the deep-rooted structures of patriarchy, caste discrimination, and corruption are incredibly resilient. While the gang has created islands of empowerment, they are islands in a vast ocean of systemic inequality. The future of the pink tide may depend on its ability to bridge the gap between grassroots activism and formal political power. Ultimately, the story of the Gulabi Gang is not just about India. It is a mirror that reflects a universal struggle for justice and dignity. Whether it's a neighborhood watch group, a tenants' rights union, or a digital movement for social justice, the spirit of the Gulabi Gang, the spirit of ordinary people banding together to demand accountability, can be found everywhere. The pink tide may or may not change all of India, but it has forever changed our understanding of what it means to fight back.